Mr. Teo, good to have you with us on TRT World. Now, does this come as any surprise to you that Mr. Suga has decided to step down?
Not really, because I think it's unfortunate that Prime Minister Suga only managed to have 1 year or a little less than a year actually to try and prove himself worthy to to secure the prime ministership on a longer term. And unfortunately, his term coincided with the COVID pandemic. So as at last year, he has had great difficulties trying to tame the pandemic, and while at the same time he's faced with the challenge of conducting the Olympics. So, given the way that the events have been developing in Japan, I would say that it's actually very unfortunate for him that he has to step down because his popularity was actually over 70% when he took over, and right now I think it's plummeted to below 30%.
Yeah, I mean, the Olympics didn't go that badly. Cases did go up, but it didn't have the huge wave of infections that some pessimists were thinking. So the fact that his ratings have gone down so dramatically, what is that down to? Is it just the fact that the Olympics went ahead and many in the Japanese public just didn't want them to happen?
Well, I think yeah, he was caught in a bad situation because he was actually I think he's actually caught by the fact that he has to go forward with the Olympics because there are consequences either way. If he cancelled, there will be a lot of economic consequences. And right now, even if he got because he had gone ahead with the Olympics, he can have some credit to it. But there is a large segment of the population that did not feel that the Olympics should have gone forward, given the pandemic conditions. But nonetheless, I think the going ahead with the Olympics and the pandemic has eroded much of his political capital, and hence, I think he realizes that his chances of securing the prime ministership on a longer term is no longer a viable option.
And of course, national elections are due in October. So what does this mean for the LDP's chances of retaining power in Japan?
I think the LDP will still retain power because history has shown that the Japanese people are pretty conservative. They would like to vote for a party and that they think is capable of running things. And so far, I think that party is still the LDP. Having said that, there is a chance that they would see some minor losses, but it also really depends on who the LDP puts forward as the candidate or candidates for the elections. So in a sense, we are back to the future because Suga's challenges when Abe stepped down are today the most viable candidates to come forward. So in that sense, Fumio Kishida, uh, uh, um, Administrative Reform Minister Kono, I would say former Defense Minister Ishiba are the likely candidates to come forward, I think, to try and win the prime ministership.
Okay, Victor Teo there in Singapore. On the news that the Japanese Prime Minister is stepping down, will not contest the next elections in the country. Thank you for your analysis.